everybody. Well, it's storming outside, so we are going to be talking about this inside. I'm just laying on the bed with a couple of my stuffed friends here, Natsuki, the sea bunny, and the unicorn I got for my birthday. She does not have a name yet. But it's been kind of a... Oh God, this is not how I plan to spend my birthday weekend, if that's... just so you know. But between what happened this weekend and that garbage going on at the Aalborg Zoo, and also one of my other subs and one of the channels I watch, Kay and her guinea pigs, somebody dumped off a baby guinea pig off of a scooter into the road. Who in the world does a thing like that? Well, yesterday we kind of had our own thing going on. My friend's grandma, who only lives a couple of minutes up the street from me, and my friend's dad saw a little, probably about 6 to 8 months old baby bunny. And right away they knew it was not a wild rabbit. It looks a lot like Curtis. Anyone who's seen my posts and seen the pictures I posted of the little guy, his name is Cobbler now. He looks a lot like a younger Curtis. And this poor little thing had been outside, and it has been hot here. I mean hot. And this poor baby, I don't even know how it's still alive. But, well, we were full on ready to go and take care of it, so I contacted the rescue that Curtis is from. And our leader said if someone catches it, it's going to have to go to the Humane Society, because they just took in 13 rabbits that were dumped in a field, 3 of whom were 8-week-old babies. Well, what's one more, for crying out loud? So I was really discouraged with that. So I called the Humane Society in St. Louis. They couldn't come out to help. I called the local one here. They only take dogs and cats. I called another extension, Long Meadow Rescue Ranch. Oh no, they only take cows and horses. Things like that, which is weird again, because when I was first looking to adopt a rabbit, they had some on their adoptable pets, and when I tried to get a hold of them, they did not reply to me or anything. So that's when I went to the rescue Curtis is from. Well, I tried everything, and I was finally desperate, so I called another rescue, and it's up in St. Charles, and I called they have an actual brick and mortar store, and I don't do Facebook or anything like that. I get harassed enough elsewhere, but I called their store and said, you guys are our last hope. You know, this little bunny is out in the horrible weather. And so we got my friend's grandma's address. And it really wasn't all that long of a time. They kind of made it out to seem like it was hours. But in fact, I think it was only an hour to maybe an hour and a half in between when I got the address from my friend and relayed it back to them, and they got hold of their rescue team and went out and got the little guy. And it's really sad because my friend's grandma, the bunny, hopped into their garage and was really skittish, and she couldn't catch it. Her grandma is in her 70s, okay? She cannot be chasing this rabbit around, so they just sort of closed it into the garage. And yeah, it was hot in there. It was horrible. Whoops. My unicorn's been into the... doing a little day drinking there. There she is. But I don't know. I don't really like the way that the rescue that took him portrayed it. But I was just glad. At this point, I would have been happy if aliens had come down from another planet and offered to take the rabbit to a rescue on their planet. Because nobody else was freaking helping me. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this out loud because it's been at the back of my mind. If this had been a freaking dog, everybody and their brother would have been out trying to rescue the damn thing. But no, it's a rabbit. They don't have the protection laws in place like dogs and cats, and even cattle and hogs have in place for them. No, it's just a rabbit, just a guinea pig. Throw it out. And like I said, if this had been a dog or something, people would have been beating down the door and Grandma's property would have been swarmed trying to catch the poor, poor puppy. Oh my gosh. But no, it's a rabbit. Nobody gives a flying you-know-what. And no offense to dog owners. I know some nice ones. But it just makes me so mad that people are so biased about this. It's stupid. And to make it even worse, when I finally did get a hold of our rescue here, the one that Curtis and Salerno and them are from, and told them that the one in St. Charles had stepped in, all our leader could say was, "Oh, that lady's just desperate for something to post on social media. One bunny doesn't compare to the 13 we took in." Well, that was just horrible. And I'll agree, though, they kind of made the bunny's story out a little bit worse. They were saying that, that it had been deliberately locked into the garage and everything. Well, Grandma can't get around so good. It's my friend's grandma I'm talking about. Mine's long gone. But we're just going to call her Grandma for the sake of this. But she did put water out for it and everything, but she couldn't get around, and the animal was evading her. And no, I don't like that she locked it into the garage, but they came out and got it when my rescue did not. And I don't know what to think about it. We were on I had just gotten ready to go. My friend got off work yesterday, and she says, "I'm going over there right now to meet up with my dad and my grandma, and hopefully the rescuers will be over there." And I said, "Well, hold on. I'm going to throw on some clothes, and I'll meet you there. It's going to be a group effort." And she calls me just as I was getting dressed. She says, "Don't bother. They already swooped in, grabbed the bunny, and left." And at this point, all I was wanting to do was save a life. And it turns out that these two rescues are like the Hatfields and the McCoys, constantly snipping at each other. And it turns out, I don't know, let's just say I learned some stuff about the people in charge that I wish to the gods that I never did. Because I can't look at any of them, and I can't look at either of the rescues the same way ever again after this. It just blew my mind, the mud they were slinging at each other. I just wanted to save this rabbit. I did not expect to get pulled into an actual rabbit hole with all of this. I do not know what to think of all of this. But it turns out they just do not like one another. And I'll admit the other rescue that did take the bunny got a little bit overly dramatic. But ours wouldn't do anything. And then finally at the end of the day, one of the other volunteers called and said, "Well, we might be able to make room for him and everything." Too late now. I don't know. In all honesty, for a while, I was yesterday and still kicking it around a little bit today, but in all honesty, I really just I was really thinking about turning my back on both of the rescues and just never looking back and cutting ties and possibly never getting another rabbit again. Because I'm afraid it's going to affect how I even look at Curtis. I'll never be able to look at anyone at either of the rescues the same way, and I'm afraid it's going to change how I feel about Curtis. And this is not the vlog I wanted to post on my birthday today, but it's literally eating me alive. Between this and that garbage with that zoo and then the baby guinea pig, I don't know. I'm honestly thinking that maybe I should just find another route in life. But like I said, all I wanted to do was save a life. I wasn't expecting to get pulled into all this and learn a bunch of stuff about everybody I'd as soon not have known. But the thing is I love Curtis and I love those animals. And it's not their fault. It's not the animals' fault that these people are just petty, nitpicky. I don't know. I could say something. Asshats. How's that? I'm going to say it. We're having an open mic session tonight. But it's not the poor animal's fault. And I know it's not Curtis's fault, but it's just, I'm really having a hard time looking at anything involved with that place. Either of the places the same now. But I don't know. I guess I should focus on the positive. The bunny is out of this heat. He's cooled off. The poor little thing, he's got ticks and head tilt, and he's not really... He's starting to move around and everything. Obviously, he's not doing very well. I mean, would you be okay if you were out there in that weather for hours? God only knows how long he'd been out there already. But I guess I should concentrate on the fact that he's at least safe. And I don't know, the rescue that got him, they didn't really do a very good job posting the description, to be honest. But I don't know what to think. I don't think I can ever trust anyone ever again. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? And I'm going to give you a heads up. Anybody saying anything nasty, you will get yourself a permanent block, because I am not in the mood for trolls or criticism or anything like that. So, you just take that shiz and bug on out of here. I'm not in the mood. I already had one guy yesterday making fun of people with seasonal depression on my post about seasonal depression. Well, he got his butt booted off. Let me tell you something. I just turned 51 today, and after a while, your filter falls off and they don't make parts for it anymore, so you're stuck without one. So, yeah. But I don't know what to do. I learned a bunch of stuff about everybody yesterday I would have preferred not to. And it just boggles my mind that two places with the same passion are at odds with each other. How does that work exactly? I just don't know. All I wanted to do was save one innocent life, and I know that's not going to stop all the other things going on in this world. Frankly, I think we're headed towards Armageddon myself, but, and that's not going to stop it. Nothing's going to stop that. But all I wanted to do was save one life and make a difference for them, and I get a whole bunch of... Apparently, something went down between the two rescues years ago. I don't know the full details, and I don't think I want to. But like I said, ever since then, it's been like the Hatfields and the McCoys. So I don't know what to make of it. I can't look at anyone the same now. It just really bothers me. And I am sort of afraid it's going to affect how I feel about rabbits in general and the rescue and Curtis and everything. But I don't know. I love him so much. And I think he could tell I was upset because he was doing his little Oey's happy dance last night. So I don't know. What would you guys do? I'm sorry for rambling for so long. If you've been here this long, good for you. Hope you're not dead from boredom. But anyway, that's it. And I will keep you updated on the bunny and my feelings with this as we go. But anyway, I'm going to sign off here because I've been babbling for way too long and you're probably tired of staring at my stuffed animals over here. So, that's it, guys. Everyone have a good day, night, whatever. Take care. Just wanted to get it off my chest and update you on the bunny. I think he's okay for now. Take care, everyone.